Good evening. We have a few hands already. I'm going to show you those hands in a second. I just need to find all my tables. So here's the first hand of the session. I didn't have my hand on in the replayer. We open. This guy has 8 BB stack, 3550, looks like a fish. The table has high VPIP average, so I decided to 4-bet him because I have the ace blocker, and when he just calls he doesn't have aces, so I shove SPR1 flop, high variance play, but I think it's okay, and he has a flush draw, and he misses all his outs, and we win $80. Then a couple of hands later, button mini raises, and this Sinan 33, he's a regular, but he makes really bad calls. He 3-bets. So I decided to call with this hand. I have a huge implied odds against these fizzy players, and button min raise 4-bets. He probably has aces, and Sinan cold calls. It's a close spot. I have a hand that can hit a lot of flops, but most of the hits are often dominated. But I decided to call, and when I hit the flush draw and wrap, the money is going in. Sinan probably has something, but if at least one of my draws is alive, it's decent. And my flush draw is alive. He has a top 2 and a cut shot, and he blocks. Some of my outs, I hit the straight on the river, but he has king 9, so we lost 114. So out of those two hands, we actually lost $10, but could have been better, could have been worse. So that's what was going on when I was waiting for you guys to join. So welcome to PLO night, Wednesday evening, full of action. We're going to play PLO50 at PokerStars. I'm Kyyberi. This is hosted by Kyyberi, the best community in the internet. If you are not a member of us, you can join. Here's, I don't know if this is, yes, pokermania.com. You can join, and when you join, you can come to the live chat. We have around 1.5 to 2 minute delay on the stream, just for security reasons. But when you come to chat, you can chat with me and the other members pretty much live, and you can comment the hands. If you want to comment the hands on the chat, please say what table it was. 1, 2 on the up and 3, 4 on the bottom when we get the 4th table. And say what was Hero's hand. What was my hand, because I'm going to open the replayer and then I can find the hand and it's easy to replay. Also, we have a small delay. Don't be afraid to comment on the hands and ask. I'm happy to go back and talk about the hands. If I don't have time to talk about the hand on that specific moment, I will come back to it later. So we are waiting for the 4th table. We have some regulars infesting all the tables, and we have some fishy players. Let's see how this turns out. I'm going to give green color to pretty much all the guys that I might like. Mahdi's VPIP 84, around 20 hands. He's definitely a call happy player. So we started with the ban. We won $80 pot and lost $114 pot. So PLO is sometimes pretty crazy. If you have any questions about poker, PLO, life, whatever, feel free to use the chat. I was supposed to show you some pictures of my burgers. I barbecued some burgers today. And I have the pictures on my computer. Let's see if I can show it to you sometimes. On table 2, we limp along and we hit the pretty much nuts. And we have a call happy player. I'm betting $2 on the turn. If I bet 239, it looks so strong and he might be scared. So I'm betting $2 just for psychological reasons and hope he calls with the overpair or flush draw or something. And Simon is actually he had $114 stack and it's a different table, sorry. Forget what I was saying. In PLO it's hard to remember what I had. If you remember at least one card, it's easier. If you remember 2 cards or what I had on the turn or river, it helps me. But if you just say hand on table 2, why did you fold? I have no idea what hand it was. As in 2 minutes, it's probably up to 4 or 5 hands. Good evening, Biaki. How do you pronounce it? My midsummer was nice. We barbecued on the balcony and it didn't work out quite well. There was so much smoke that I was afraid that someone is going to call the fire department because it looked like the building is burning. The neighbor came to her balcony and asked, is everything okay? On table 3, I'm going to stab on the turn. I have 1 pair and not flush draw. And no one bet the flop, so I don't suppose anyone has anything. But of course now PLO50 raises me. If I want to call with my flush draw, I have to win a pot of around $40, $50. So I need to have around $20 as implied odds. And I don't think I get it. And if ace or queen comes, I might have reversed the implied odds, so I'm going to fold. He might have set on the flop and he's trying to be tricky or whatever, 2 pairs. Here I flop top pair and a wrap, and Simon has I'm in a small 3-bet and everyone calling. Now he donks. It should be a pretty strong hand, so I'm just going to call. All my outs are the nuts, so if I get these players to call, it's good for me. And if the board pairs, I'm probably going to fold. But now if he raises, I have to shove. I have so many not outs. And I hope they both have sets. No, they don't. But I think we won the pot. He had only 2 pairs and he went broke. It's so strange. Because when I call on that board, I'm in a 3-bet and he donks against 3 people. I have 2 people behind me. When I call on this flop, I probably have at least an open-ender. And he has only bottom 2. So he's raising. He might have a draw. He might have top 2 or set. Against his raising range, this guy is pretty much flipping. But when I'm behind, I don't like his donk with bottom 2. Because no way 3 of us is going to fold. It's so hard not to have any draw on this board. And of course he had a bottom and cut shot, but when he donks, there's only 4 turn cards that helps him a lot. And even then he might be beat. So I don't think he has any nut outs on the turn. And he doesn't. So donking on a 4-way 3-bet pot against 3 people with hand that doesn't have any nut outs, it's bad in my opinion. And as we can see, he's a green player. for this reason. On table 2 we turned 2 pairs. We had 2 pairs on the flop. I thought we have only top pair. I would have bet my 9-3. And I'm just going to give the pot to him. On table 3, the video the kid looks like he's going to be a pain in the ass. He's just not folding. I have two pairs on the turn, so I'm going to pot control. I keep the pot small and pretty much call a lot of the rivers. 9 is bad because he might have 5-8 or that type of hand, but now I have 2 pairs, good enough to check back on the river. And he has 9, then he called the flop with middle pair and a cut shot, so I'm going to give him the green color. He likes to chase. He had us crushed on the turn. I don't know if Callan noticed, but this evening we had sound on our intro. At least I suppose we had. On table 2 I'm opening full pot because the small blind is a green player and the big blind is unknown, so I don't have to be balanced. Against this player I don't have to be balanced at all, and with this player I don't have any history. So I can just exploit according to my hand strength. And we flop double cut shot against tied player. We're going to make a c-bet. And we win the pot, which is nice. I will try to see if I can find the pictures for the burgers at the same time, because they were so delicious. I managed 2 burgers and I managed to eat only 1.5. Same thing happened half a year ago when I was watching Super Bowl and I made my Super Bowl burgers. I managed to eat only 1.5 out of 2. They are so thick, if that's the correct word. Like the beef is 100% minced beef, so there isn't any excessive stuff that makes it worse. It's just pure meat. Table 3 I have 2 pairs on the river. Would you have went for thin value with top 2? Yeah, it was against the video the kid. It's just when he calls the flop, he often has a draw. And I'm betting the turn because he might have smaller 2 pairs sometimes, or he might have the 5-8, he might have 5-4, 5-3 type of hand. So on the river, it's so hard to get value. If I had 10-9, I might have bet something like 450 just to get a call from overpair or 2 pairs. I think that 10-9 is pretty much as good as any set, because he shouldn't have sets in his range that much. So top 2 and any set from deuces to 10 is pretty much the same value on the river. Of course, the 9 completes so many straights that if he doesn't have a straight on the turn, he probably has it on the river if he's drawing to a straight. I'm opening on 2 and 3 even if there's a calling station, and now we get donk bet from Mahdi. We don't have anything, so we're not going to raise bluff him ever here. And here Bini 3 bets, which kinda sucks, but we have to call. We don't have to call. It is first. It's so small sample size that I can't put him on aces, and most of our hits are going to be pretty bottom 2 pairs. And I don't want to stack off with. I'm going to fold it. Here we have the tight player, and this really hits tight players' calling range a lot. We have bottom pair, cut shot, and some backdoors, so I'm going to check back here and see. I think now we can bluff him off from a lot of hands. Because if he had a flush, he has to bet it on the turn, because we check back the flop. Oh, I have the pictures here. Wow, they are big. Jesus Christ. How do I make it smaller? Ugh. There has to be zoom somewhere. Can't find it. And now I miss my hands because I'm just looking at the pictures of burgers. On table 3, I'm sorry I can't remember. If I check the turn, then I would value bet river if he checks. He would never check the straight on the river. I remember that I bet the turn, but if the turn goes check, check, you are right, he would bet he is straight. So I have the pictures of the burgers in the middle of the making and when they are ready, but it's too big to fit on the screen. And I can't find the button to make it smaller. Here on table 1, John Man raises. He limp raises. He probably has something. Even though he has only $25, but even 50 BPs deep, I'm not going broke. If I had even a cut shot here, I might go broke, but his raising range is pretty strong. And he's from Greece, they don't bluff. And let's see what kind of players we have here on the tables. I don't think Sinan has that many trips here. He probably has an overpair and a flush draw as top of his range, but he's so call happy that he probably isn't going to fold his hand. So I'm going to get the free river. And I think if I can bluff. The way the hand is played, he's not going to fold his overpair. Yeah, he has just pair kings. That's even on the flop with that big sizing is pretty bad. So, but I don't think when I check the turn, he's not going to fold the river. Because he's a green player, this is how I adjust. Against some other players, I might bet the turn, bet the river, but he likes to call with overpairs, so I'm just exploiting it by extracting value when I hit my hand. And he left the table, which kinda sucks. He didn't want to play out of position to me. So table 1, it was a great table. Now it's not that good. Here we have a gut shot and a flush draw. We have great folding equity unless he has the aces with the flush draw. But he gives us great price, so I'm just going to call. And we hit the backdoor flush on the river and the straight came there. I'm going to bluff the river. Let's see if he folds his. He has although small sample size, but his one at showdown is 75, which means he's not making any two calls. And even if he has pair over pair, it's not an easy call for him. Because I might have backdoor flush and the straight draw on the flop comes there on the river. And on table 4 I'm going to check call on the river, but he didn't bluff me. On table 2 we flop a bottom wrap. We block all kind of. He bets full pot. Wow. Doesn't mean he's probably folding. He might have a flush draw. So let's just call and see if we hit our straight. We don't. 9 doesn't change much. And it's again when we call the flop, check the turn, we can't make him fold an overpair. And he makes half a pot bet, which kind of sounds he doesn't have anything. He wouldn't value bet queen. He would value bet overpair. It's half a pot. I'm going to actually make a hero call here. He had aces which he value bet. That's the one hand he can value bet there, but it's bet sizing is so strong. Well, the only way he's going to get paid is I make a hero call. So I think he has a lot of. If he has a missed draw, like he has a not flush draw on the flop, or some kind of wrap, he has to bet the river. Of course, when he checks the turn, he probably doesn't have a bluffing hand. So actually, I don't like the river bet actually, because if he had a hand that I can beat, he should bet it on the turn. Because it's a great card for him to continue semi-bluffing. I have the picture. Kyyberi is asking, where's the burgers? I have the picture here, but it's so big that I don't know how to make it smaller because it's in my browser. What if I click here? What happens? Okay, now I took some pictures, but I totally forgot to post them to the forums. If I put it in here and tight side, 2 tight players, so I'm opening from under the gun. Hope I can get the position and I win the pot right away. Okay, now I managed to open the burger. So I'm waiting when we have a sort of a break on the tables. I'm going to show you. On table 2, he's an unknown, so I decide to open. Sometimes, even if he or sees how often he folds his big blind to small blind open, even if the sample size is small, I sometimes make the open just to get more data. When the sample size gets bigger, then I can exploit him. So even if he sometimes calls me that I open hands that I wouldn't open if I knew the stat, it's not a bad thing because I can pay a couple of dollars in EV to get a decent sample size to a stat that I can exploit with many dollars. Yeah, the picture is so big. And now we don't have a hand going on, so I can show you. Oh, we have a hand going on, sorry. And I don't want to make it smaller because it's so big. On table 2 we have a playing hand. And we hit wrap. It's a flush draw board, but we have 13 not outs to straight minus some flush card. I'm actually going to turn my hand into a bluff catcher because if I bet and he has a flush, I'm going to lose that one bet anyway. And if I check and he bets and I call he has the flush, I'm going to lose that one bet anyway. But I think with checking we can get more value. And on the river, betting is fine, check calling is fine. I'm going to check, give him an opportunity to bluff. If I bet, I still have a lot of flushes in my range. He might bluff catch me, but now at least I can see his hand, and he called the flop with pair kings, which, of course, it's an overpair, but there aren't going to be pretty much any good turn cards. 8 or a king is good for him, maybe 3, but when he just calls, he's going to have so many problems. On table 2, the February opens, we have top and bottom 2 pairs, and we have the cut shot. So I'm just going to call. The 2 pairs is pretty vulnerable, but we have the cut shot and we have the backdoor flush draw, so I'm going to call. And 4 is pretty good card. If he bets, I'm going to call. Half a pot, he probably doesn't have a straight. Some of you have heard this before in my coachings, and then on the river we hit the nuts. And we can bet value. I bet pretty big because if he has a hand, it's only a bluff catcher. And he didn't have anything. But it's just, whatever he had, this shows how nasty it is to play out of position. And here we have the regular 3-betting. We have to call and see what happens. We hit pretty much nothing. Like, if he has pocket aces or whatever he has, let's say he has pocket aces, he c-bet on the turn, he checks. On the flop, he c-bets, I call. On the turn, he doesn't know what to do. He bets half a pot, I call. On the river, he check folds and he wonders, what did I have? So whatever his hand is out of position, if you don't flop the nuts, it's going to be so hard to play against good player because they are not giving up on the flop. And when you hit the turn out of position without a great hand, it's so hard to do your decisions. This guy is pretty tight. I'm going to give him a nith. Alex, we have a bigger sample size. He's not that nitty anymore, so I'm not going to give him any label. Here we have EPIP51. He's a friend. So many regulars today. And on Tempo 2, I'm just going to steal the pot with half a pot bet. It's a limp pot, so I don't think he's going crazy. And often, if you can steal the small pots when you see a chance, it increases your win rate nicely. This guy 3-bets ton of hands. The problem is that we are not that much ahead of pretty much anything. Well, we have an ace blocker. If we have a suit in the hand, I'm going to increase my variance and 4-bet my kings. I have the ace blocker. If he has aces, I'm crushed, but he should have a lot more than aces in his range. And he just calls and we hit the nuts, which is great, and we have to shove. And he folds. Kind of sad because he should hit that board. And here Alex 3-bets and bets big on the board. If I had a flush draw, I would call. Man. If I hit any bigger, I would call. This is so marginal. I'm going to fold. And I would have been a mile ahead. Kinda sucks. I need around 40% equity at least there, and he has draws in his range, but he have two pairs and some kind of pair and wrap type of hands. So against his range, I'm not that good shape. If I had even a cut or a flush draw, it would be an easy shove. Well, now, of course, now when I see his hand, I would have been a mile ahead, but we don't know his hand. We have to play against the range. I thought about 4-betting, but I really like to have the ace blocker there. It reduces and removes a lot of his aces combos. So now we don't have a hand, or we have a hand, sorry. My bad. You can see the burger someday. Just wait. And he 3-bets. I have a trashy hand I was just stealing, so happy to fold it. We actually hit something on the turn on table 2. We have an open-ender. But we might be drawing dead already. But everyone checks, so probably our open-ender at least is alive. But now the flush comes there, so no point in betting. Table 1 we see bet open-ender and pair. Vaku is asking the burger again. I'm going to show you the burger as soon as I have time. Don't be so hasty. And again he 3-bets. Now we have a slightly better hand. 29-22 3-betting. I think he's 3-betting from that in position a lot. And now we semi-bluff the turn. He checks the flops. He probably doesn't have big straight draw. He might have ace-king with a cut shot, but often he doesn't have anything. Now he raises, so he probably has the ace-king. I don't think he's ever raising here without a really good hand. So he is not the type of player that we want to have on our left. And here we get a 3-bet from the same guy. And one option is to start to 4-bet him with the wide range. And I think this hand is decent to 4-bet. Of course it increases the variance a lot. So let's keep it safe and play pretty fit or fold poker. We don't go crazy pre-flop. And now this is the exactly same spot as before, but now we have the nuts. Let's see what he does. It would be great if he raises us again. And this time he folds. He might think that we just got raised, so now we have to have a hand. Here we actually hit a lot on the turn. So we have an open-ender and a cut shot. Actually, it's only 8 outs with our open-ender, but we have a lot of folded equity, so I'm going to pot to this guy. Beerball 3-bet 774. Wow. One might think that he has aces, but often these type of guys have strange 3-bet range. So I'm not going to start to bluff him. And we have only a cut shot. I'm happy to give the pot to him if he has aces. He's not going to check fold aces ever. And he has pair aces. Callan, I'm not going to upload it. I'm going to show you the burger as soon as I have time. I can sneak preview you. I have the picture here. It's a great burger. I could make it smaller and put it up here, but it wouldn't do justice to the burger if I show small pictures. So as soon as I don't have a hand going on any tables, I'm going to show you. We hit top pair against poker pot. I'm keeping it simple. I see bet, and if he raises, I'm probably going to fold, although he's 40 big blind. And here side player makes a small 3, but it's not even a pot sized. So I'm going to call. And I hit top pair, 2 backdoor flush draws. And I'm happy to take the free card. And I hit the flush draw on the turn. Let's see what he does. And he has so little stack that I'm going to... I think he has some folding equity if he has pair aces. And if he calls, I have 30% equity. And at least he's thinking, so we might make him fold at least some of the time. On table 2 we hit, oh, he calls me with the queens. Wow. Well, we had more outs than I supposed. On table 2 we hit the bottom open-ender and a flush draw. So this is why out of position sucks, because now we hit the flush. If we check, he checks behind, we give him a free river card. If it pairs, it sucks. So I'm going to dodge the turn. If he has a set, he's never folding. If he has a flush, he's never folding. If he has air, he might be folding. We have the nuts on the river, and he might have the flush. So I'm just betting big on the river, and he had a flush probably. Yeah, he had a 10 high flush. So this time it was good that we bet turn and river. On the outside table we are on the flop with the set and open-ender. It's a 3-bet pot. He made a small 3-bet icon, I flop pretty nicely, and I just shoved the flop. And he folds, which is good enough. And table 1 I'm betting full pot because this short is on the big blind. And I just hope I hit something. And with the top pair, take the hand to showdown. And we win. On table 3 we have the nuts on the turn. Surprise, surprise. Who would have thought? We have nuts on the river. The pot is so small that I'm just potting turn and river. So, we have a hand on table 3. But someone opens. I'm not going to call it, so I can show you the burger. Here's bacon. 2 beefs ready. 2 on the grill. Barbecuing. On each of these beefs I have 200 grams of minced meat, and not any low fat stupid meat, but with 15 to 20% fat minced meat. So the beefs were pretty thick. They are, I think, even if you're just going to do 2 of these without the hamburger buns and bacon and all kind of stuff, you would be pretty full. So that's how it was when it was cooking, and I'm going to open the other one. Here on table 4, the Eli Hutch. Regular 3-bet from the bottom, 30%. Which is C-bet. 13% from the button, 2 out of 16. I have some nut potential, so, and I have a lot of implied odds with this guy. So I'm going to call and hope I can hit the nuts. I can, but I have a nut flush draw. He can't have aces with the nut flush draw, and he pots it, which is super strange. If I had a cut shot, it would be easier to play. Now if I know that this guy is coming along, I could make a call. He's never folding, so he might have a set of kings. But I don't know what this guy is doing, so I have to fold. Wow. And he goes all in with the... Wow. Wow. He goes all in with top pair. Would have been nice, but... And what did this guy had? Yeah, top pair and cut shot. And here everyone is just calling. I'm going to bluff the river. Of course, when trying to bluff bad players, but there's no way that I'm going to win the pot with my pair of nines. They probably have 9-10 type of hands. I have the nines so myself. They might have kings, two pair type of hand, and I might represent 5-6 type of hand. So the only way to win the pot is to bet the river, so I decided to try it. Tempo 3, we hit the top pair on the turn. Flop goes check, check. He mean bet, so I call the turn, but on the river, 10 is pretty bad card and he bets, so he probably has a better hand. Yeah, it was sort of me versus food. This time the food won. Half of a burger beat me. So where do I... And here I take that one, yes. Okay, we are back online. I don't know what happened. I hope everything is working now. Pretty much all the softwares on my computer just crashed. I opened the burger picture and everything went down. I restarted it all. I'm streaming right now. I have no idea if this works, so if you can see or hear anything, just say it in the chat. This is so strange. So, HUD is not working. I reopened my broadcast tracker and now it sends some crash reports. I don't know. Let's see what happens if we can get the HUD to work. This was actually one of the good tables, so I might close it because let's see what kind of players we have here. The tables are in a different order than last time. So the one with almost 300 pp stack is here on the right. I'm going to give this guy a green color. He's our friend. We have a flush draw, so I'm c-betting this flop. Adriano is opening a lot of hands. I go in position just to get... If I hit my hand, I can get some nice value. And here Russian shoves $10 into $30 pot, so we need 30%. If our flush draw is alive, we have 35. Let's gamble. And our flush draw is pretty alive. Flush draw is not alive, but pocket tens is alive, and we get runner on a full house, so I think we were ahead on the flop. So Stream should work. At least it's sending stuff. Okay, now you can see. Great. On table 2 I bluffed the flop. I don't think neither one of them is going to call me pretty light. The guy left votes over 60% to c-bets, and Alex is sort of tight player, and he calls. He probably has a flush, a7 set, all kind of hands, but I'm not going to barrel him away. So yeah, he had a pocket sevens. I think he should have bet the river. Because there's no way I'm bluffing the river when he calls the flop. This guy is VPIP over 50, he's a friend. This guy should be a nitty. I gave him a red color earlier. Don't know why he changed it. Adriana is our friend. VPIP 82. And I think this Bullocks is also a friend. Only 10 hands, but VPIP 80 and 0. Yeah, he's a friend. The more I can give green color to the fishes, more easy it is to table select. Because then I can see on the lobby that if any table has 2 or more green players, it's usually a pretty good table. So sorry about the crash. The picture I was hoping to show you was this one. Here are the burgers. There's some salad and bacon and red onion, 2 types of cheese, some mayonnaise on the left one, on the right one, on the left one there's barbecue sauce. So they were pretty good. The plate on the picture, this plate is pretty big, it's like this size. So the burgers are pretty big. These are the big burger buns, if you have seen them on the supermarket. The problem with that big burgers is that it's so hard to eat. Because I don't want to eat my burgers with fork and knife, so I have to eat it by my hands, but I couldn't get the burger into my mouth. So that's one problem, and it's also difficult to eat, so because if you bite on the other end, all the stuff comes out on the other end. So I have to put some paper on it, and it's just a mess. But man's gotta eat burgers. I'm opening full pot on table 4 because there are 2 short stacks, so I want to create a big, low SPR. And this flop kinda sucks. And he's a very aggressive player. I'm not stacking off with SPR of 8 or what it is. So I'm going to check back and see the turn. And if he bets, I'm probably going to call the turn. He doesn't, and on the river we have pretty much the nuts. So we can easily value bet. And on table 1 we make a delayed c-bet. And he calls. which kinda sucks. I'm going to bluff him on the river. And he calls. Oh, he had a nut. Oh, second nut. And he just called. Wow. Pretty passive player. I think if he's VPIP 59 and this passive, I think he's a friend. He has to be a friend. On the, I don't know what number this is, the former number 2, we are 200 pp's deep with Pocket Joey, who is pretty aggressive player, 3-bets a lot in position. So I don't want to sit on the table with 200 pp's deep when there's the best player besides me on the table is on my left. So I'm going to leave this table. And then we had a limp 3-bet. Wow. Well, hand is good enough. We're not folding. And now we hit top 2 and we stack off and see if we are flipping or if we are way ahead. And we were way ahead. On table 1 we flopped the quads. Anyone see that coming? It's a 4-way pot, although we made a small 3-bet. The problem is that everyone puts us pretty much on aces. So I don't think anyone is going to bluff us away except this guy. So the only hand we can get value is pocket queens. But I think we have to make a c-bet here, because if we had air, we might make a small c-bet. It's a 4-way, but even if we check, no one is going to bluff, and we know no one can have the 5. So at least when we make a small c-bet, we give someone an opportunity to make something stupid. And if someone has pocket queens, we get the money definitely by the river. But if someone has pocket kings, he might call that 1-bet or ace queen. It kinda sucks because no one can have pretty much anything. But if we check, it's a 4-way, but no one is going to bluff the turn. The only way that we can value is that we check the flop and hope someone catches something on the turn and we get that 1-bet of value. Callan is asking what is my opinion on McDonald's and Hesburger. Hesburger is Finnish version of McDonald's. Pretty much the same. The prices are a little higher, but pretty much the same kind of stuff. I think they taste pretty good. Of course, McDonald's, it wouldn't be that successful if the burgers were bad. I'm going to barrel this guy. Unless I improve. He should fold a lot of hands on turn. And he calls. What can I beat? Well, I represent trip deuces, and he calls and he had the 3. Damn. I don't know if he would have folded on the river. He picked up the flush draw on the turn, that's why he called. If the river was a blank, I think he might have folded his overpair. Now he won a big pot. He got pretty lucky. Table 3, we flop the nuts, but don't get any action. So my opinion on McDonald's and stuff is that they taste pretty good. So it's nice to eat them sometimes. the food has it's so processed that it's far from being healthy. Although McDonald's is advertising that they have the healthier options and see we have the fresh salad, our food is healthy. It's far from healthy junk food, but it's pretty good every now and then. But of course, if anyone has seen the Super Size Me document, you know that if you eat from McDonald's every day, you're going to be screwed. But of course, if you compare these to McDonald's, which are this thick, it's pretty simple and easy to see what you should eat. Ace King Jack double did pretty much one of the top 3 hands in PLO ever. Ace Jack 10 is probably the best hand, so this is pretty close to it. Of course, we are 3-betting. There's so much we can hit on the flop. And if he 4-bets, we can get money in a great shape. And he folds. Wow. Damn. He's a green player with 17 and 12 stats, so he's probably tied. And when this player has the green color, it means he makes stupid calls or bad calls post-flop. Pretty often it's overplaying overpair, like calling 3 streets with pocket kings when the board is Jack 7-8 or that type of stuff. And here we leave with the 345 BBs from the outside table. We have a nice stack there. And on table 2 it's a ace high board. We can definitely represent the strong range. And on the turn we actually pick up an open ender. And when he calls the flop, he probably has some sort of weak ace, or he has a straight draw around the ace 3. So he might have a straight. If he has ace 9, he might raise us. And he's such a tricky player that I'm going to check back here on the turn. And on the river, well, he bets. He probably has ace king. If I raise here beat, not sure if he would fold. If he has an ace, he probably thinks it's a good blocker to my aces, so he might call. So I'm just giving up. He is not a nice player. He's pretty much owned us so far. I'm going to give him the blue color. It means he's a type of player that I don't want to have on my tables. So his stats are, he's sort of solid pre-flop, not 3-betting out of position from the blinds ever, only 3-bets in position, but his post-flop aggression is pretty high. River aggression, he bets almost every river, so the way I'm going to play against him is that when I have a hand, I'm going to give him an opportunity to be aggressive. So I'm going to slow play some strong hands. And sometimes bluff catch the river with a hand that I wouldn't bluff catch against unknowns. But let's see if we can find any good step. Not the let's see what. Okay, this is decent. I open a table, fifth table. We have position to this Xenon guy that we won a lot previously, and there's one regular, but we have position on him too. And out of these other players, we don't know much. This guy is a green one. He has VPIP 62. But I'm keeping this here on the outside, so I'm going to show you if something interesting happens. McDaddy calls the flop. He probably has some kind of draw, so I'm going to bet and get value from his straight draws. And if he has an ace-high flush draw, two pairs, he's not going to fold it on the river, so no more value in betting. But he had the ace-high flush draw, so. Poker Boat calls me on the turn. The only hand that I'm worried now is pocket aces. So I'm making a small bet, maybe get some value from some kind of hands, but pocket queens, other stuff. And on the table 3, we flopped wrap, pretty nutty wrap in this spot, and he raises. He probably has two pairs or set. So I'm quite happy in calling here, and if board pairs, I'm going to fold. I hit pretty much the nuts, so I'm going to don't bet big. If he has 4-7s, then it sucks. And he has a set, and we pick up one pot, and we pick up the second one. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. Player said that it was rat meat. It looks so bad. What do you mean? Like, dude. I'm going to show you the picture. After the hand on table 2. We hit the nut flush, but it pairs. But he hasn't raised, so I'm definitely betting the river. And he calls me with the jack high flush. So here are the burgers. This isn't rat meat. The lighting makes it seems bad, but this is high quality stuff. And here are the burgers that are cooking up. Yum yum. On table 4 we call his 3-bet and we hit gut shot and a flush draw and he checks. So I'm going to bet. And he just happily check folds, which is pretty nice. And then we wait to get some hands. And Simon 3-bets us. He overplays a lot of his hands, so I'm going to call. And I hit 2 pairs. He has 3-bet all kind of hands, so I'm not folding. And now I just give him the room to represent aces. And if I bet, what can he call me with? ace king, any ace. Let's try it. And he just fold. Here comes Pocket Joey. He's 3-betting a lot. So I'm not folding on this flop, and I pick up the open-ender on the turn. So let's take the showdown, and deuce is a great card. If he checks, I'm going to get a value bet out of him if he has an overpair. And if he bets, of course, I'm calling. And he bets, I call, and he has 5-3. Well, he had a better hand on the turn, but as we see, his 3-betting range is pretty wide. And on table 3, would I play my wrap against better players the same way? It was the hand that I had a wrap and the opponent raised me on the king high board. The thing is that even if this guy is a better one, I make a pretty big c-bet against 2 pairs. Of course, he might know that I don't have a strong hand here. But when he raises this big, I think he often has at least the king. I have to hit something to win the hand. The bottom line is that if turn and river are blanks, I'm never winning. On table 4, turn and river are ugly ones, but I have 2 pairs. I'm going to check, and he has just a bare jack with the flush draw. So here, even if he has just ace king, I have to hit something. So shoving the flop might be plus EV, but if I can call blank turn and fold blank river and save at least $1, the EV is better if I call the flop, because there's no reason to shove. And now I hit, and he shoves the turn. He makes it easy for me. Not sure if I like his shove, because when I call his big raise, I shouldn't have any sets. I would shove any set on the flop, usually. And I can't have a split pot. On table 3 we have a raise, and we lose the raise. No, we don't. We hit the 9 in the end. So, in his shoes, I think he might even call the turn and fold if the river doesn't complete his full house. Or he can shove. It's better for me. But I think against a lot of players, if I bet the flop and someone raises on this flop, I would just call. I wouldn't fold on any turn unless it pairs the board. Depending on the player, but yeah, most of the time I would play it in the same way, because I think calling has better value than shoving the flop. Shoving there against the set, we are about flipping, so we don't win much, we don't lose much. It's the safe line. But with calling we can make more money. We have nice stacks on table 3 and 4, over 100 BBs. It's going pretty well. Just before the coaching, just before the PLO night, I said in the Finnish chat that damn, all the tables are full of regulars. Because I look at the lobby and all I could see is these brown players on every table. So I thought, but now when we go to tables and see we have green players everywhere. On table 3, I'm so tempted to raise this guy. I'm going to risk 10.50 to win $11. If he fold half of the time, the bluff is good. And he does, because he's sort of side player. I'm not sure if he wants to sort of go broke with pair over pair. And on table 1, we call against Simon, miss the flop, so unless he checks, we just give up. Because he's type of player that doesn't fold an overpair easily, and this Kip guy is the one who is going to fold overpair pretty often. So in the same situation, my line is totally different against this guy and this guy. On table 4, we have the pocket showing again on our left. Damn, is he following us? Not sure. I might actually quit table 4. There are 5 tight players or regulars. And here against pocket Joey, I'm going to make a 4, but I block all the high cards. If you have aces, I have pretty nice equity often, so if the money goes in, it doesn't matter. But I have a lot of folding equity on the flop. Nah, it's a shove. And he calls with the flush draw. And picks 1 pot. And I pick 1. But although we didn't win anything, we were actually behind on the flop because we didn't have the aces. The fact that he sees that we 4-bet with this range might slow him down a little. And he has position on 2 tables on us, so if he slows down at least against us, it's easy. Because after that, I don't think he's going to 3-bet with that wide of a range against us. I hope the stream is working because my streamer says that there aren't any viewers. Oh, now there's a couple. We have a question on the chat. Yaki is, yeah, the stream went down and not sure why. It hasn't dropped any frames, but the viewers went down to 0. I hope everything is okay. So I suppose a lot of you dropped out from the stream. Not sure why. Everything is working fine on my part. So there's a question on the chat, but I'm going to answer it when we have the viewers on. And now we have 23 viewers again, which is great. So Bjarki is asking, am I saying that I have the odds to call the flop even if you don't get action later because better plays all in a blah, 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 blah. Yes. No one, I can't open the hand. I don't remember what table it was because it all flipped out. The thing is that when we have like 13 under wrap, if the opponent has a set, he's never folding on the turn. I mean, if you have a set, you check you raise pot on the flop, turn completes a straight, and the opponent donks you. I don't think that many players can fold a set there. Especially recreational players, they don't know the odds of drawing to a full house. They don't know how often they hit the full house. So they are often going to go with the set at least on the flop, so we always have implied odds. On the table 2, damn. I can't fold it yet. But he probably has a straight and my flush choice, so when he pots it, I just have to fold. Because if I call and I hit the straight or flush on the turn, I have a pot size left, I have to stack off. And if he has Jack 9 or higher flush draw, or both, I'm totally screwed. And Kauris is asking what? What? I don't know what. But what? On table 2, Pocket Joe is 3-betting us with the full pot 3-bet. I think he might have aces actually this time, because wow. I think it's gamble time. We have double suited 2 pairs with some connectivity. And if they both have aces, we are ahead, so let's gamble. And on table 4, when we check the flop, we bluff catch the turn, and on the river, he pots it. And on table 2, we have 4 out. Oh, he bets so small. We have 4 out, it's going to hit 1 out of 10 times. But we can. It's going to be so close if we think that our full house always wins. He might have ace 10. This is pretty much the same spot we had. We flopped the quads, so he might even have the quads when he bets so small. I'm going to give up. If I had hand on queen, jack, I might call. But when he bets so small, it really looks like he has a monster. On table 3, I bet full pot because the big blind is short stack and unknown. But we sort of missed the flop. And sort of hit the turn. And puke on the river. I have to call 150, it's so small bet. And he has a full house. Nice. So out of his full house, he got $2 for value. It's almost a burger at McDonald's. I don't eat raw duck, but you said what, so I said what. And then I said, but what? And then I said a lot of things. Table 2 against Poker Boat, we flop the trips. Hope he has something. I'm going to pot. Going to be a chicken, but don't get any action. And I'm going to see in the lobby if there are any great tables around there that have. I'm going to wait instead of that. If there are any tables that aren't filled with regulars. Oh, there's 3 green players on that table. Well, yeah. Other than that, we have at least 1 green player on every table. The table 3 isn't that great. So probably going to change it as soon as I can get. Well, we just happen to get a table, so I'm going to go here and we have 3 green players, which is pretty nice. And I'm going to close the outer table. We have a hand going on. I'm going to put it here. We 3-bet 2 pairs, we flop the set, and we are getting it in. And on table 2, I'm going to borrow the turn, and if the river blanks or pairs, I'm going to bet the river again. Representing a set of queens, queen 9 type of hand. And I should have a lot of folding equity against some open-enders and cut shot and 9xxx type of trash that this player might call me with. And we didn't get any action on the outside table, so kinda sucks. Because the flop, the punt pounder is a green player, so. But other than that, I often miss this flop with my 3-bet in hand. Pretty much the strong part of my range is aces with the diamonds or some kind of 8, 7, 10 if I have a random. But if he has a middle cards from 10 to 5, he blocks my rundowns a lot. So if he has an open-ender and he's a regular, he might check raise me here as a semi-bluff. So that's why I make a sort of bigger c-bet, so I can get the stacks in more easily. And on table 4 we set mine and miss, so we just fold on the flop. So we have 4 tables. I think we're going to play 10 to 15 minutes and then close the day. Now we don't have any hands going on, so we can look at the pictures. Why not? Let's show you some beef burgers. Nice. I can show you every time when I'm not in a hand, I can show you my burgers. Wouldn't it be great? On table 4 I make a small raise just to build up the pot in case I hit or I have a great flop to bluff. I don't believe in limping from the button. If the hand isn't good enough to raise, it often isn't good enough to call. I mean, good enough to limp. But even if we raise, we are against 3 people, so no reason to go crazy. On table 3, we flop cut shot, overpair, and a flush draw. There isn't a straight possibility, so we are getting it in. And we can get it in, and let's see if we are ahead or flipping. And we are flipping against the set. Let's see if we can hit anything. And we get half of the pot back. We had only 38% actually. Yeah, he had a 6, so he blocked our cut shot with 1 out. With that 1 out, we could have 42 or even more. But I think. Where's the hand? Well, he's 46 and 8, so. Yeah, he has a lot of sets in his range, but he might have 7-9, which gives us 50% equity. He might have just a flush draw with some pair of 9s or whatever. I think his raising range is more than just sets, and even against sets we have average of 40% equity or so. So I don't mind it. Then we flop the trips against the same player but don't get any action. Player can focus on the coaching. In that case, I'm going to distract you a little bit more. I think I'm going to make a background picture of this for the next coaching, or some kind of stuff that pops up once in a minute, so you can see my burgers, my buns. I don't know what quality the picture is, if we can zoom in or not. I can zoom some bacon for you after this hand. And I opened a fifth table to outside because I was on a waiting list. Not sure what kind of table it is, so I'm waiting to see and hope I can at least give some color to these players. They are pretty unknowns. Now we can zoom. Kaboom. And where's... Oh man. Can you see that bacon? Now it's crappy, but here it's decent. Wow. Isn't that great? Oh man, I'm hungry again. The burgers disrupted me. On table 1, I think opening or folding is a lot better than limping against regular. So, you know, this distracted me. How can you play poker when you have this on your eyes? But he leaves behind, so I'm going to bet here, and he's often going to fold. If he has ace in his hand, he's probably betting it. Raising pre-flop. Pocket Joey is 3-betting 5 out of 20 times from the button, so he's definitely 3-betting a lot from the buttons, and his post-flop aggressions are high. So one option is to call his 3-bets and let him bluff on post-flop. When you have this type of player that creates some problems, it's good if you can think about how do you play against him. If you just keep on playing and don't think, it really hurts your win rate and EV. We have the nuts on table 3, which means that we are just getting it in. Someone might have 10-7 and he stacks off. Someone might come in with the flush draw. When we have the nuts, it's pretty easy to stack off with 100 BB stacks. And we have 2 queens, so it's unlikely that someone is free rolling us. Of course, it might happen. But when we are 100 BB deep, I'm not really afraid of free rolling ever. When you are 200 or 300 BB deep, you have to consider with bare nuts that is the other one free rolling you or not. And we can 3-way all in and hope that the river is 2 of clubs. No. And the guy that He had 47%. How can he have that because he's blocking all of his own outs? Well, he had a flush draw too, but he's blocking jacks and 8s and 9s, and he's blocking everything. Down. We didn't have that much equity. We have around 25% and we need 30%, so it was minus EV shove for us. But it happens. He had a pretty... He had set and flush draw on the flop and he didn't bet himself, and then on the turn he went crazy, but it's good for him. Well, you can't win every pot. Here against Poker Pot, I have the nut flush draw, so I'm going to bet and build up the pot. When I hit my flush on the turn, surprise, surprise, I can get maximum value if he has the flush or two pairs. One option for the... Oh, he folded. One option for the PLO nights is that every time I win a hand, I show you the zoom of burgers. Great talent raises flop, and now when Richard is going to shove, he thinks. I have no idea what this player does, but I think it was 3 or 4-way pot, and when he raises the flop, he has to have a hand. And why would he raise if he's not stacking off? Of course, they are pretty deep, but yeah. I'm not convinced of this player abilities. PPIP 55. Well, I think VPIP 56 is good enough to make him a green color. Definitely when he's on the table, we have an edge over him. We are winning money out of him. Against Richard and these regulars that have this brown color, we are not making that much of money. Oops, sorry. Had to tease you a little bit. Oh, we can zoom to the other burger. Because here you can probably see we have the barbecue sauce dropping all over the place. On table 1 we had a heads up, but we flopped top 2. Probably going to slow down. On the turn I value bet against open-enders, flush draws. And if he raises, I'm happy to fold. On table 4 we could have, and he raises, so I'm just going to give up. On table 4 we could have raised against the shorty. He has opened pretty much a lot of hands. But of course when we flop the nuts, it's easier, and he's so short that I'm going to shove. If he has any piece of the board, he's stacking off. And if he doesn't have anything, we don't get any value out of him. And he shoves. And he has a flush draw with 8 outs. And we win the pot. Yay. Double suited 9s. There's a tighter play on the button, so I'm going to open. And the button folds, which is a great. And then we flop the cut shot and 2 backdoor flush draws. Against 2 people, two Broadway cards on the board. No reason to see, but I can get them to fold so rarely, so I'm checking back and see if I can hit something on the turn. King is pretty nice. If they both check, I'm going to bet the turn. And he bet so small, so I'm going to call. Pretty much when I bet the turn, I might represent aces or something, because when they check, they probably don't have a king, so they are just going to fold a lot of their hands. And he had pocket eights, and we beat it with pocket nines. So easy. Here against tied player, we flop top pair and open ender. I'm going to c-bet. And just win the bud. Yeah, if you're hungry, you can always look this, and you get even more hungry. It doesn't help you, but it makes you more hungry, so you can eat more. I think I have to change my forum avatar to Pokermania and put maybe zoom down, because if I put this, no one knows what it is, so I can zoom something like this to my avatar. Would be pretty nice. Clock is almost 11 here in Finland, so I think we're going to close down the session. By the way, we have talked a lot about burgers. I think that on next week we're going to, it's not poker related, it's ice hockey related. We're going to film our ice hockey studio with my friend, Studio Couch, Sohva in Finnish. We made some ice hockey studios during our trip to Spain to watch the Division 2B World Championships. If you haven't seen those, you can search from the YouTube with my name, Kyyberi, and you'll probably find them. One of those studios is in English, in case you don't understand Finnish. Anyway, we are probably going to make a summer episode. Not sure if we have anything ice hockey related to talk about, but we're going to have some beers outside and maybe we do some ice hockey burgers. Better one than those. So if you want to see how they are made and how much I put love on my burgers, you can definitely see it on the video. Of course, if you don't understand Finnish, you don't understand what we say, but it might be actually a good thing. So I think that I'm actually going to close down the tables. There's not much going on. And I think Top Dog is going to raise me often here. He should raise me, but he just calls. So I'm going to give him a pressure. Because we pick up the flush draw, give some equity if he keeps calling. I think he should raise, because we don't have that much of an history heads up here. So he should raise me. I would have folded and just give him the pot. But he didn't raise me, so he gave me an opportunity to pick up the pot. NHL draft this week. Oh, we do, but we're doing the episode next week, so we can talk about the upcoming draft. We can talk about what happened in the draft. So all of those 2 or 3 players that might be drafted, we can talk about them. We are more aimed towards international ice hockey, so we can talk about next year's championships. And often when we are having beer and we do ice hockey studio, what happens is that I pretty much talk crap about all the players and the teams. I talk bad about all the Finnish teams besides Jokerit, and but it's true. Everything I say is true. Here on table 1, so much backdoor stuff that I'm going to check back. And he bets the turn. Of course, I'm going to call and pick up something on the river, and he bets small. I have to call, and he shows me Jack 7, so he had a straight. But lost pretty much minimum there. Now I'm not sure if the poker tracker shows the right amount. I have a screenshot of my PokerStars bankroll, so I'm going to check it after the session and put the right number to the forums, because we had the crash, so it might be that poker tracker is missing few hands. But here's what man, this is the session from today. $202 at least, might be a couple of dollars more, actually less, because we might have lost some hands that aren't in the tracker. All in value $82. Well, even our EV adjusted winnings are 30 BPs per 100 hand, which is awesome, but we definitely run good today. I think it was because of the burgers. So I think we have to look at the burger bills again. It's a nice way to have a session that we are pretty much winning from the hand number 1, and boom, 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 boom. On the graph, well, yeah, even the EV line is pretty decent. In the end, we had to fold a lot of hands, but it's great. Here's the hand we got all in with the nuts. Actually, our EV was minus $10 to $15, so it's all good, and about $200 of winnings. I will check it tomorrow or later today what the actual number is. I have to check my screenshot and compare it to what I have now. I always take a screenshot before the session just in case we have this crash, and if there was a big hand going on, it wouldn't come to my poker tracker. But anyway, have a good night. Let's watch some burgers. Yummy. I can show you the whole picture of twin burgers. And those of you who understand Finnish, or even if you don't understand Finnish, feel free to join on Friday and watch us play the same games on Friday in our Finnish PLO night. And that's it. See you on Friday, or at least see you on next week. Have a good night and bye bye. Let's close the burgers.